So hello everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the new day and new vlog. Today we have with us our beloved Muntasir, and we thought that today we'll discuss about our deregistration of exam in Germany in RPTU Kaiserslautern. What we study, Muntasir.
We study masters in our informatics.
Yeah, and we thought that in one of the video we talked about how we registered for the exam, and we have also talked about how we deregistered the exam.
Correct.
But what is the story behind of our deregistration of exams in RPTU? Because I think we deregistered good number of.
We registered good amount of subjects and then we registered some of them.
Yeah. So the thing is, we registered, like we have a certain period where we can register for the
Correct.
exams. So we usually registered, I think, comparatively more subjects so that we can have the option to deregister the subjects later on. So we
You
thought,
can register subject before 1 week of the exam.
yeah,
So that's a good opportunity. That's why when the registering period starts, we
Yeah.
actually register the subjects that we are doing the classes or
Yeah.
we are feeling, okay, this can be a good subject.
yeah,
And just before till we have the decision time till 1 week of the exam.
Yeah.
So whether we want to take it or not.
Yeah.
If we don't want to take it, we register it.
yeah,
And there is no negative impact, nothing impacts on your result or anything if you register a exam
Yeah.
before 1 week.
yeah. And I think here I want to add one point, that's why we thought to discuss this topic, because you must have seen that we have given different exams, right? We have talked about different subjects, but I think we have not till now talked about
The ones that we didn't take.
the ones that we did not take and that we deregistered and we did not give the exam, although we attended the lectures as well.
Correct.
So for this discussion, in few days back we discussed also about the lecture system in RPTU Kaiserslautern, and there I think in that video we went semester by semester.
By semester.
And I am thinking that today also we'll go semester by semester our deregistration story. So if we start, Muntasir, with our very first semester.
Winter semester.
Yeah.
So for the first winter semester, we were doing the classes, and among them what was CMCS.
Yeah.
So continuous model of
Complex systems. Yeah.
So that classes we are doing, and
We used to do exercise, attend the
as
lectures.
well, attend the lectures as well. But during the exercise lecture time, we
Yeah.
came to know
Yeah.
that this exam actually is consecutive with our another exam.
Other exams, yeah.
So one exam on 6th, one exam on 7th, one
One of-
exam on 8th.
Correct. And we had three continuous exams, and the thing was that was our very first semester.
Correct.
And to get an idea of the exam pattern, that how the exams are conducted in Germany and in RPTU Kaiserslautern, and that too we had three continuous exams. So we thought that maybe we should deregister one exam which is in between. And
that is the same.
yeah, that is CMCS, and actually we were preparing for that subject as well.
Correct.
We
Correct.
were
For us, I would say that it seemed that okay, maybe for few days if we study, we will be
Yeah.
good enough to give the exam.
Yeah.
But before giving the exam, we should at least take
Some
2
days.
or few days, or like this few days
Yeah.
to prepare good for the exam.
Yeah, and at least to revise as well, because the other
revise,
two
yeah.
exams, I think we had one SRES and one product line engineering,
And for product line, it was theoretical as well.
and we had two. Yeah,
So if we are doing the CMCS on 7, then we don't have time to revise the product line.
yeah, and it also depends on time. You remember the exam would have been over
Yeah.
by afternoon, and then
Afternoon and
maybe
and the next one is in the morning, something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. So you have some gap, and you have to revise the course, or maybe for the entire semester the product line engineering content. So I think, or the SRES content. So I think that was one of the reasons that we deregistered CMCS. As I told, that we practiced some of the questions. I think it was quite mathematical
Very
subject
mathematical
subject as well. And once we got to know the exam date, then we thought that okay, we have till, like he said, 1 week before we
1
can
week before.
deregister the exam. So we deregistered CMCS in that semester, and I think it was a good decision.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. Now coming to the second semester.
Second semester is our summer semester.
Yeah.
In RP2, in summer semester, there is actually a lot of course offered.
Yeah.
So we were also taking a lot of courses.
Yeah.
And among them, we did regular classes of agricultural data,
Yeah.
as well as foundation of digital farming.
Correct.
The foundation of digital farming was hybrid, both online and offline.
Yeah.
And AD was
We used to go to
offline.
the lecture room.
Yeah, we used to go to the
We
lecture
also
room.
shot in that room.
Yeah. And I believe in our last video we have actually showed you the classroom as well.
Yeah. So you can watch that lecture system video. There we used to attend AD class.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when just before giving the exam, when we were actually preparing for the exam, or I would not say just before giving the exam, I would say just at the end of our
Semester, yeah, lecture, yeah.
When the lecture is about to finish, we are know the whole syllabus. We saw for AD this is kind of a new subject at that time. I believe only 1 year.
One
or 2
exam,
year-
yeah.
2
Only one or
years.
two times that exam happened, and that
Exam
too only I
happened.
think no previous year paper was available at that
Yeah,
time.
that's true.
Yeah.
And there was only few questions, so we are not sure how the exam is gonna come
Correct.
and how we should prepare.
Yeah.
So we are a little bit confused.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we dropped the
Yeah.
subject.
So I think that's also one of the reasons that we initially we took the subject options that we thought that are kind of interesting and we should at least try. So we tried certain number of subjects, and that's why we had these one or two options.
Correct.
If suppose we registered only 4 subjects or maybe 3 subjects,
then we have to give it.
yeah, but the thing was we registered I think some good number of subjects, and then we thought that okay, for AD since we do not have any previous year paper to refer, and while going through the content, it's about the interest as well, that are you developing that or not.
Yeah.
So I think we attended the classes, although it was a very interesting
Interesting class. It's related to digital farming.
yeah,
So quite interesting, I would say. Same
Correct.
to FDF or Foundation of Digital Farming.
correct.
So why did you register that one?
Foundation of Digital Farming.
Yeah.
So the reason for deregistering Foundation of Digital Farming was we had to go home.
Correct. So we are actually willing to go home. We
Yeah.
don't have to, but we
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
it's actually our all of our exam will be finishing on September 9th, and if you want to take the FDF, it will be on October 10th.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
we have almost 1 month gap between that.
Yeah, we had one final SWM oral exam, and then
Correct.
we went next day, I guess, something like
Correct,
that.
Something
Yeah.
like that. So if we want to give FDF, we have to wait 1 or
It was
2
on 10th of October.
10th of October. So more than 1 month we have to wait.
Yeah.
So we thought we can take it in future.
Yeah.
Let's drop it. Let's go home.
Yeah, we can go home, and then we'll get, because the next semester starts around 23rd or 24th, around that time. So if we just give the oral exam of SWM, and then we'll have almost more than 1 month,
1 month.
to go home. So that's why we thought that okay, FDF we can take in any other semester, because we can give the exam
Correct.
later on. I think it didn't do not have any mandatory things to submit.
no exercise, no some nothing.
Yeah.
They are exercise, but they are not mandatory.
Yeah.
So you can attend the classes and give the exam.
Now, one more thing I want to mention here is that since we are discussing this mandatory part, is that for VRS also we did not give the exam
Correct.
in summer. But the thing was, since exercises were mandatory, we submitted that because we wanted to give that in winter. Yeah.
We are planning that we will giving our VRS exam on winter.
Yeah.
But for that, we completed all of the exercise in summer.
In summer. So I think the subjects we are saying that we deregistered 1 week before it, and the reason being is the exercises were also not mandatory for
Correct,
them.
correct.
And for AD, it was I think quite interactive exercises. You remember, like we had
Yeah,
to certain
that's
recall some keywords as well. But the thing was, then we got to know that how the paper came. I think it was quite implementation based, but
Yes, sure.
but we did not give that exam, so we can't really tell how was the exam like. Next thing, coming to the third semester.
That is again our winter semester.
Yeah.
So for that one, we took a lot of subjects, and among them was one network security.
Yeah.
For that, classes were not mandatory.
Yeah.
But sometimes we used to go classes, sometimes we do not. But there were some assignments that were mandatory.
Yeah.
So there was one hack challenge, one report you have to submit.
Yeah, and you have to review as well
Correct. You have
Yeah.
to review the report of other person. So that was mandatory part.
in a group of 3.
Yeah, in a group of 3. So to sit for the exam, you have to pass those assignments.
Yeah, so me, Muntasir and Shubhadeep were in a group, and the thing was, I think we submitted that assignment.
We submitted, we completed it.
Yeah.
There was some review from other person that we need to change something. We did
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and we resubmitted it.
Yeah.
We also reviewed other people's submission as
Yeah,
well.
so I think that we need to do to give the exam. So I think even if you plan that okay, we can deregister 1 week before, I think it's always good. It's kind of good if you submit at least the
Submit the
assignment so that you can have the option to give the exam.
Correct.
So I think we submitted that assignment, but why we deregistered that exam?
The same as FDF.
Yeah.
So again in this winter, we thought we want to go home.
Yeah.
And we were missing our home. And again, this subject was on March 18. And our last subject is on, I believe,
28th of Feb,
20th of
our
February. Our
project.
Yeah.
Project
Our
presentation.
was on 20th of Feb. So if you want to give this exam, we have to again wait for 15 days more.
Yeah, yeah.
So instead of just
15, 20
that,
days.
we can drop this and have almost more than
Because yeah,
2
till
months.
April, because
till
it's,
April, yeah.
yeah.
End of April, I believe around April 20, our next semester starts.
yeah,
So we have a whole March and April's at least more than half month.
Half month.
is something like that.
yeah. So I think we had the exam, like he told, around 18th March, and
Correct.
we had good number of days before that. So we thought that okay, network security we can take next time, because the thing is why we have this opportunity, because we took some, I think, good number of subjects.
Subjects,
We
yeah.
had the project, the seminar, we had VRS.
Yeah, actually every semester we calculate that okay, this is the subject we planned. Even if we drop this subject, we will take this subject in our next
Yeah,
semester. This
yeah.
semester, then we are also good.
Yeah, so I think this is also one of the important point to keep in mind, that if you have enough, I think, buffer credits, then it's good to do, right? But suppose if we had only 2 or 3 subjects, then we
would not drop it.
yeah. So I think that's why we deregistered these exams. Like he said, for network security, the assignment was mandatory. We had to submit that. We all also received that, okay, you are accepted, now you can give the exam. And then I think one more point to mention is that Shubdeep gave the exam.
Correct.
So even in a group of 3, we too did deregistered. But still, I think Shubdeep assignment was counted.
Yeah.
So this can also happen, that the group members will deregister, and the one who has registered or submitted the assignment can still give the exam, because I think this can be a confusing point as well, right? So I think that's the reason that we deregistered these certain set of exams. And any more point, Munsir, you want to add here?
No,
Or
I
any
think,
recommendation you want to
I
tell?
think we have covered everything. So the recommendation here is, while you are in the registration period, register as many as you are doing the lectures
Yeah.
or having some scope, or okay, this is I can give.
Yeah.
And then when deregistering, just think about it. I would not suggest that deregistering is a good thing. It's obviously a bad thing.
It depends
because
on
you
a
will-
person to person.
You will actually if you are just registering everything, then you will not complete your masters in soon.
Yeah.
So just before registering, plan ahead and think, okay, this
Yeah.
is not a good time to give the exam, register it. Otherwise, if you think you are confident enough,
Yeah.
give that, no issues.
Yeah, and I think it depends on your reason as well.
Correct.
So I think it's always good to keep buffer subjects. And I think one of the recommendation here is that as well, that when suppose we start a new semester, like in our very first semester, we attended good number of classes, even if we thought that, okay, we will either take this subject or not. But I think it's always good to, attend as many as
Lectures
classes.
and register for the
Yeah,
subjects.
because like we said that for AD, we attended the lectures, but till the end point we got to know, is it quite interesting or not.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think once you start attending the classes, because in the very first or 2 lectures you can still decide for some subjects, but maybe after 5th or 6th lecture you think that, okay, this is the exam pattern, or I want to give this exam or not. So I think it's always good to keep buffer credits or buffer subjects, so that you can have the decision in your hand and you can decide. And I think it's always in your hand, because you can 1 week before you can deregister the exams. And I think this is also a good thing, like this 1 week time period that we have. So I think that's it for deregistration experience, insights. Like, this is our experience. Your experience can be different, but we thought to share our point. Thank you, Muntasir, for sharing your insights and experience. That's it for this vlog. Rest, like, comment, share, subscribe. It doesn't take much time. Bye bye. Ciao ciao. Namaste.
Assalamualaikum.
Chalo. See you in new day, new vlog.